So why a 2CV? Well, conventional thinking says you're either a 2CV man or a Renault 4 man. Actually, I like both, but it's the 2CV that I've always wanted, and I wanted an old one. A 425cc car with the ripple bonnet, because I just think they look absolutely gorgeous. So for the last few years on my summer holidays in France, I thought about trying to buy one over there on Le Bon Coin and then bringing it back, but it just never happened. Then I thought, time to really look in the UK, and I went onto one of those classic car websites and I found what looked like the perfect car. It's perfect because it retains all the patina of age on the outside, but it's got a new chassis underneath. But there's more to why I love the 2CV, and here's some reasons why.
I haven't always wanted a 2CV, but I have for a little while now. The urge first took hold when I first read the Alan Clark diaries in my teens. His description of the joys of driving one seemed so potent that I promised myself I would, one day, own one myself. For many years I thought I'd drive one back from the family holiday in France, but never quite got round to it. I was also quite sniffy about the spec I wanted. It had to be an early car with the ripple bonnet and the comedy 425cc engine, and it had to be shabby, but mechanically and structurally sound. I was browsing the classifieds one night recently, and there it was, the perfect car. Original everything, sitting on a renewed chassis and fitted with a newish motor. I test drove it and bought it immediately. To understand the 2CV, you need to know something of its history. Originally planned in the mid-1930s as cheap motorised transport for rural types, the first prototype was finished the day before the start of the Second World War. During occupation, all unfinished prototypes were ordered to be destroyed, but a few weren't, and the project continued in secret, so that come the 1948 Paris Motor Show, the 2CV was unveiled. It used a 375cc air-cooled flat twin, and it actually had 9 horsepower. My car is a later 1957 model, with a full 12 horsepower, electric start and door locks. As a piece of design intended to meet people's motoring needs, I think it's both the best and most interesting car I have or ever will own. Thin gauge steel means it weighs just 550 kilograms, and yet it seats 4 people. Both benches can be removed for picnicking, and it will meet the original design requirements of carrying 2 adult farmers and 50 kilograms of potatoes at 39 miles an hour. Well, just. The design detail is just so pure and simple. The engine and 6-volt electrics are weak, so the wipers are driven from the speedo cable. The heater is literally 2 pipes leading off the cylinder barrels. To shut it off, close the flaps. If you want more cold air, open another flap. For sun in the hair motoring, it's just unbeatable.
Right, people, how can you not love these cars? You're about to experience 12 horsepower with 2 grown men in it. There is a car a quarter of a mile away there now, but I have to wait to let him go, because if I went, I'd ruin his journey. Here we go, first gear. 12 horsepower. That's first gear. That's first. That's second. There she is. This is a hell of a hill. I mean, you wouldn't want to walk up this hill without crampons. Come on, old girl. I don't think we're going to go for third. We're probably travelling at about 18 miles an hour now, maybe 20 at a lick. We've got quite an incline coming now. I think we might be down into first quite soon. Let me get through this before I start yapping too much. Stay in second. Come on, old girl. Come on, old girl. Second gear. Come on! Come on! What's the difference between eking out 2 miles an hour here and eking out 5 miles an hour when you're doing 200 in a Noble M600 at the ring? It's the same thing. It's just different numbers. The risks are arguably greater in this Citroen. Oh, come on. Let's get to the top of the hill, then we can start talking. Second. Keep going. She's really straining now. We're down to 10 miles an hour. We're down to 10 miles an hour. Why did I agree to go up the hill, Neil? So, let me break down why I love driving this car. First of all, you are never bored in a 2CV. There's always something to do. You're always managing something. you have to anticipate even more than you would in a normal car because you need to manage, it says going down to second, your speed. If you lift for a nanosecond, that can affect your speed for the next 10 miles. So you've got to be on the ball. You're always looking ahead. You're also judging the radii of bends because you're thinking, can I stay flat out around that bend? You also need to change gear very quickly but smoothly, otherwise you'll crash the gearbox, which isn't very nice. We're up into third now, probably travelling at 30 miles an hour. We will soon be approaching VMAX on the level. I'm going to go into fourth. Ready? Go into fourth. It's like that moment when Chewbacca fiddles the sticks and they go into light speed on the Millennium Falcon. It feels that special. We're now doing 40 miles an hour. And as you can see, I'm loving it. I just have so much fun in this little car. It's very beautiful from the outside. It's very special from the inside. And if you get it rolling, it will do about 45 on the flat. Steering is slow, but you get a lovely sensation of what the front wheels are doing through this thin little metal rim here. Gearbox is really quite pleasant. It's got the old umbrella handle that comes out of the dashboard down there. First is the dog leg back towards you, second, third, fourth. This car doesn't have the famous centrifugal clutch, which used to allow you to actually roll up to junctions and not dip the clutch. This has a normal clutch. Well, that's actually a bonus because it means I can bump start it when it doesn't want to start, which is not very often. I love the fact that it's a complete antidote to all the modern stuff that I drive. It's slow, but it's enjoyable. I don't feel hurried. I defy anyone to get angry when they're driving a 425cc 2CV. You can't. You are the slowest vehicle on the road. I'm now doing under 30 miles an hour. A well-ridden carbon racing bicycle would come past me at this point now. I'm that slow. So I have nothing to say at all. I am the smallest cock on the road, so I might as well just roll back and enjoy myself. Up a hill, go on my son, here we go. Second gear. Second gear. We're gonna leave her in second. We're gonna leave her in second. Got a big lorry behind me. One does feel a little vulnerable in the 2CV when you see a big vehicle. The crash test performance is middling to poor. Second gear. Approaching valve bounce and into third. Come on! Keep going. Let's get a run up here. But Neil's such a fat if I didn't have him in the car, it would be fine. You really do plan your journeys and speed according to the number of people in the vehicle too. Because if you've got two big lads, it ain't happening. We can roll along the flat for a bit. Keep going, old girl. Keep going, old girl. Ah, bit of downhill. You see, your whole world just brightens the moment you see it's downhill. The revs rise, here we go. I'm going to leave her in third. I think fourth will be a bit greedy, got a bit of a climb again. And this is it, you find yourself in this constant conversation with yourself. You're looking ahead. What's over there? Oh, another downhill bit. We're going to be rolling down here now. Here we go, right. I'm going to actually make a leap to fourth in a minute. Third gear, probably 35 miles an hour. There she goes. That was a sweet change as well. We barely lost any momentum. Down the hill now, fourth gear. Drum brakes all round. No grip whatsoever. We're travelling at 40, 45 miles an hour now. Speedo's off the clock now. Lovely smooth ride though, that long travel suspension, very supple, combined with the fact that I'm sitting on a hammock. Some corners. Let's discuss the cornering performance of the 2CV. Not that much footprint on the road in terms of rubber. Braking performance, not great, so don't overcook it on the way in. Second gear, no, we're third gear. There she is. Just take it very steady. Generates much more grip than you'd ever think was possible from such small tyres. There she goes. And strangely, you see pictures of it from the outside. It looks like it's falling over. From the inside, doesn't give you the sensation of rolling that much. Better stop for the old junction here. There she goes. Oh, she's wobbling a bit there. Oh, bit of a crunch. There we go. There we go. Neil's finding this hilarious from the back seat. Come on. Oh, there we go. utterly magnificent motor vehicle because it's not like anything else I get to drive. It's slow, it demands concentration, it demands that you're sympathetic with all of your inputs. You're always busy, so you're doing something, which is what driving's all about. People respond so well to it, they smile. I mean, any car that makes other human beings smile in this day and age, look, there's a child waving at me, is a good thing. Has to be a good thing. So, I just think it's wonderful, and of all the things that I own, it would be one of the very last cars I could ever sell, even though I've not had it that long. Any journey that I undertake that's under 10 miles, I tend to do in this. Why wouldn't you? Leave a little earlier, go a little slower, enjoy yourself. That doesn't mean I still don't enjoy vaporizing tyres on P1s and stuff. I love doing that. But I like to have the whole lot, the full spectrum. And this operates at the other end. That doesn't mean it's any less enjoyable. It makes me smile, and it makes me grin.
I think I'll leave with some of the Alan Clark thoughts that fueled my 2CV passion. He says, "For serious de-escalation, a different and more restful concept, there is only one solution, the 2CV, preferably with left-hand drive and corrugated bonnet. The fuel level never, it seems, alters. The huge, narrow Michelin X's last for 50,000 miles. The very simplicity of the heater guarantees that it always works, so you can roll back the giant sunshine roof and waft along, one elbow on the door, with that very soft suspension giving the sensation almost of a big US convertible of the 1950s, until you come to a corner, that is. Then, if you wish, you may put to the test the maxim that decrees that there is no curve in a country road anywhere in Europe for which you have to lift off in a Citroen 2CV. Well, I couldn't put it better myself."